Welcome to the Small Business Podcast series, where every week we're interviewing guests that support small business owners. And we have a unique guest today who's an international SEO expert. He is out of Boulder, Colorado, but Chris Raulf has been in the industry for 25 years. So if you want to talk SEO, this guy's got some experience, and we're going to have a great conversation today. He talks around the world, originally from Switzerland, and we're going to have a wonderful conversation. Welcome to the podcast, Chris.
Hey, Jason. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks for the intro.
Yes. And Chris, let's dive right in. You've been in SEO for 25 years. So give a description of how you've seen SEO start and what your company does.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's actually closer to 30 years. So I'm originally from Basel, Switzerland. Back in the mid 90s, I used to work for an American financial corporation. I was doing marketing and sales there. They had a new marketing tool called a website. So all the content was actually translated and then hard coded by the US office in Washington, D.C. They sent it over to Zurich. It was put together into a website. That's when I started to think about how can these search engines that started to emerge read that content. That's how I got into SEO. And ever since, I've been fascinated by these search engines. Obviously, Google emerged as the dominant search engine. But things are changing a little bit, which I think we'll talk about later. So I got into SEO way back then and then moved over to the US, to Boulder, Colorado. Eventually had enough with corporate America and started Boulder SEO Marketing about 14 years ago. So here we are. I'm still obsessed with the algorithm by Google and now these new generative AI tools that are emerging.
Yeah. So you talked about as early as we were getting going, you're hyper focused on SEO. Like that is what you guys do, which is so unique to find because you find a lot of different marketing agencies or digital agencies that that say they're focused, but really they're scattered all over the breadth of it. What is the importance that you have found about staying and the advantage that you've had by staying so hyper focused on just SEO?
Yeah. So there's a lot of agencies, they do everything, right? From PPC, influencer marketing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's sort of like, if you want to get many things, you probably go to a place like Walmart or Target. But if you want to get something really high end, high quality, you probably go to a specialty store, right? So we're that specialty store. We actually, after our own website got hit by a core algorithm update, we lost about 80% of our organic search traffic. I went back to the drawing board and I developed a SEO methodology called micro SEO strategies. If you do a Google search for micro SEO, you're going to find a guide that I wrote about this methodology. So we're now hyper focused on this micro SEO strategy methodology. We infused AI into this methodology, and I'm excited to announce that we can even, within less than a month, we can get content to rank at the top in Google for the target SEO keywords. So we're super hyper focused. We're really good at SEO and content marketing, and it's working. We're achieving incredible results with what we're doing here.
Yeah, what is the importance? So SEO is that elusive term of search engine optimization, and a lot of people want to dive into social media and various different other areas of marketing, but SEO has been there for a very long time. If you've been in it for a very long time,
Yeah.
what can you describe to the audience here? Why is SEO so important? What is it at its core that makes it a something that A becomes elusive, but B is the importance of really putting some effort into it and not letting it be by the wayside?
Yeah. So, I mean, we are searching for things online right now. People are using TikTok, the younger generation. Other people are using LinkedIn. Other people are using YouTube, etc. Most of us still use Google, but then we also use other platforms like I just mentioned, right? At the core of everything, there's content. All right. These platforms, they make money by being able to surface the best possible content that's out there, right? So that's what we help our clients do. We help them create content that's way better than anything else on the internet, and we apply SEO best practices. So yes, it still includes on-page optimization. It also includes off-page optimization, such as link earning, all the stuff that we do outside of websites, includes even social media marketing. These search engines take a look at everything that you do online. At the core, however, it is content. That's what we primarily do. We create the ultimate piece of content with SEO best practices in mind.
What's the importance of having a solid SEO strategy across your entire portfolio?
Yeah. I mean, the better your content across everything that you offer, that you do, the better you're gonna rank, right? If you don't offer content in a certain area where you want to get more business from, you're not, most likely you're not gonna rank. So it's critically important that you have a very solid content marketing strategy in place for the entire business. That can be very overwhelming. A lot of businesses that we talk to, they started small. Like, you're a coach, you probably talk to a lot of micro businesses. You help them grow into bigger businesses, right? With that comes, you have to think about your content marketing strategy. Now, all of a sudden, you're offering 2 or 3 services. At the beginning, it was probably one service, right? With that, you have to develop the right kind of content. You have to optimize that content for the various search platforms that are available out there. So as your business grows, you need to think about expanding your content marketing strategy. I hope that makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. No, it makes great sense. So
Yeah.
how um you've been doing it forever. You found passion in this space of SEO, and you said you started to talk a little bit about some of the different tools. What are some of those things that are exciting you about what's coming in the future of the internet, and what things are you developing that might be of benefit for
Yeah.
the small business owners out there?
I mean, finally, something is changing in search, in SEO, right? As we all know, about 2 years ago, ChatGPT launched as the first generative AI tool, caught Google off guard. In the last 2 years, so much has happened with AI, and it's changing SEO completely. Okay. The internet is being flooded by just spun content, low quality content. Anybody can go to these tools and say, hey, create me 100 blog posts about this topic, right? So people actually do that. They put up AI generated content. Google loves money. They don't like to spend money. So they have to weed out, they have to be able to identify that AI generated content. They don't want to pay money to store it in its server farms, right? So they had to update its algorithm to really be able to identify high quality content that answers somebody's questions. So that is changing with the emergence of AI. It's all about the content. So we, about 6 months ago, we started to develop a software, an AI and SEO tool, where we heavily work with these platforms to do research, analysis, etc. Essentially, our tool is called BSM Copilot. At the end of the process, it spits out a structure that then a human being can write. So basically it helps us create an outline that a real writer can then create an incredible piece of content that will have a chance to rank at the top in Google. So we heavily work with AI. We don't just rely on AI. It's a collaboration, AI and humans, and it's working incredibly well.
That is looking very far into the future of what can be do, what things can happen, and how you can, make uh, systems work together. And the passion that you have behind this is amazing to see the efforts that go into really focusing on going forward. Let's be real. You didn't start your business to feel stuck, overwhelmed, or bored out of your mind. But yet, here you are, spinning, stalled, or just chasing every shiny object just to stay motivated. And I know exactly how you feel, because I used to do the same thing. But that's why I built the Momentum community for founders like you. It's for people who are ready to get serious, simplify, and build a business that actually moves forward. It uses peer accountability, and it's what I used to be able to grow my business successfully and have a great exit. Does this sound like something you need? Click the link in the description below and let's have a conversation. Enjoy the rest of the show. You're already into the future. You've seen the different changes in the next 2 years, which have been a pretty massive disruptor. What does it look like for the next 5 and 10 years even that you guys are looking at to say, what adjustments would you need to make inside of these AI platforms? Are you relying on it more, less, or is there a different option that you're looking at?
Yeah, so I spent hundreds of hours, watching YouTube videos where the smartest people that are involved in AI talk about what's happening. The consensus is that we're at the very beginning of the hockey stick effect, right? We're at the very, very, very beginning. So a lot of people don't know yet what's going to be in like 2 or 3 years. We're going toward AGI, artificial general intelligence, where these systems and tools are basically as smart as we are. That's going to be a complete game changer, right? That's going to completely disrupt everything live as we know it. So do I know where SEO is going to be in 5 years? No, I don't think anybody can say. I just know that, if I want to stay in business, if I want to do well with my business, I got to stay on top, with AI, understand what's going on, what tools are emerging, how to take advantage of them. So a tip for any business out there, if you don't yet have an AI task force in place at your business, that would be the first thing, or like one big takeaway from listening to me. Put an AI task force in place for your business where you question everything that you do manually right now. Take a look at every process, anything that you do, and question everything. See how you can infuse AI into your business and processes.
Yeah, AI and automation are huge
Yeah.
takers. It started with automation years ago with various different connectors across the web. And now with AI added to it, those automation techniques get faster, better, more reliable. And those can be huge benefits for the the small business community if you're willing to open your eyes to it. But you just heard it. You got somebody that's an international speaker, well known in this industry for a long time. Listen what he's saying, and that is whether you get an AI task force or you just start really paying attention to AI, those are critical elements of what the future is going to bring in the next few years. And it's just going to continue to get worse because I totally agree. We're early in the hockey stick. It's not later into it. We're early into it, and the ramp up is just going to keep facilitating. Chris, it has been a fantastic conversation thus far. What are do you have any last comments or imparts of wisdom that you would like to leave, other than the one takeaway that we just got that would be related to the conversation of this SEO and AI, as we move forward?
Yeah, I mean, when I started my business, gosh, 14 years ago, Boulder SEO Marketing, I started as a small local SEO business. Be open-minded, right? I think our second client was a company in Israel. So we, all of a sudden, month two, we were an international business. Just be, and Jason, you can probably talk to that as well. Like, just be open-minded to, in what direction this business is going to take you, and adapt. You have to adapt. You got to be passionate about what you do. If you're not passionate about what you do, you most likely may not succeed. So passion, and be open-minded, and just enjoy the ride and adapt to new technologies. That's probably three critical takeaways that I'd be happy to share.
Yeah, that's definitely a big, powerful statement inside of that, is to be open into those ideas. Those that stick their heads in the sand will get buried completely and be forgot about for years.
Yeah.
It's the um I can't think of the adage at the moment, but it's a matter of looking up, looking out, and staying ahead. Not necessarily staying ahead as much as just paying attention. Like,
Sorry to interrupt. I think the word that I would use is like stay relevant, right? If you're no longer relevant, somebody else will be, and they're gonna go to them. So as long as you can stay relevant, that's what I've been doing for the last 14 years. I speak globally, and I just spoke in China. I'm about to leave for Barcelona. This only happens when you're relevant, right? When people perceive you as a leader in your industry, a thought leader. So if you can do that, there's a really good chance that you're going to succeed.
yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up, because that adds to the conversation so well. Is that relevant of staying relevant inside of your space that you're at.
Yeah.
And the challenging part for a lot of small business owners, especially in rural areas of the country, is that you have to look outside of your area to be able to stay relevant, because whatever is not there today is being done somewhere else, almost guaranteed. It's just a matter of when is it going to start to affect your area. Chances are it's sooner than later, and you could be that person that makes that effect on your area, which ultimately is for the better. Progress is always for the better, because it's going to happen whether you want it to happen or not. Uh, Such a great conversation today. Thank you, Chris, so much for being on the podcast. Are you ready to jump into our lightning round?
Let's do it.
Okay. A couple quick hitter questions and then into a little deeper ones. But first off, coffee or tea?
Oh boy. Oh God. Coffee. I had to go with coffee.
It's always interesting to get the answers to the questions. How about cats or dogs?
Oh boy, another hard one. I would say dogs.
Okay. How about a favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
Differentiate or die. Yeah.
Very relevant to the
Yeah.
conversation for those listening out there. That is
Yeah.
definitely relevant. How about a book that has influenced your life the most?
Oh boy, many, many, many books. One book that comes to mind, it doesn't have to be crazy at work. It's by the co-founders of Basecamp. Highly, highly, highly recommend that book. You're going to learn a lot as a business owner, how to run your business. So it doesn't have to be crazy at work. Love that book. Many other recommendations.
Yeah, that's a great one. I haven't read that one myself. I've read similar ones, but I've heard that one is a very, very good one, especially
Yeah.
for those small business owners out there.
Yeah.
How about the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome and one lesson you have learned from it?
You think, oh gosh. Well, sadly, just about exactly 3 years ago, we lost our house in a, whew, a fire. There were about 1,100 homes lost here in Superior, Louisville, and Boulder. That was a challenge, right? But I mean, we had to run out of a burning house. Pretty challenging. So it's been a challenging few years. We've been back. We rebuilt here at the same spot. Been back for about a year. But man, that was kicking my butt. However, I learned from overcoming, the first 3 months, terrible. But then you go into, okay, let's move on. It's not the end of the world. We didn't die. So I learned a ton of really useful lessons from this tragedy. And I think it made me a better person as a, personal person, and also as a business person. So it's not the end of the world. As long as you don't die, life goes on and you learn from those experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. That's tragic to have such a drastic loss. Those fires were crazy. I flew over them a couple of times
Oh, yeah.
on flights into Denver area, and yeah, they were pretty nuts. And then and whatnot. So to go through that and be able to experience and learn and to come out from it with a positive, I learned a lesson. I think that's one of the biggest things that we challenge everybody with that's listening is it, obstacles happen every day, all the time. How you take the obstacle and what you use the obstacle for should be for the betterment of the society that we live in and yourself as a person, and maybe your family included if you have one. But don't go to the negative side of it. The negative side of it is just, it doesn't do anybody any good and it becomes a drain on the world. So, such great wisdom imparted in there. Thank you, Chris.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can agree more. I mean, be sad for a little bit, but then sort of see it as an opportunity that can help you grow. So I couldn't agree more with you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris, how can people work with you or collaborate with you if they would like to learn more about Boulder SEO marketing and your international expertise?
Yeah, I mean, look us up, Boulder SEO Marketing, or even just Google my name, Chris Raulf, or Google Micro SEO. You're going to find a guide that I wrote about this methodology at the very top. I'm very active on LinkedIn. You can find me there. Yeah, reach out. Happy if you have any needs with content or SEO. Certainly would love the opportunity to speak with you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. It has been a great opportunity to hear about how SEO is evolving and changing after so many years of staticness inside of the industry. And Chris gave great points into how you could get further and further and further faster by utilizing some of the technologies that he's helping develop. So reach out to him. Those information will be in the show notes or the description if you're watching this on YouTube. And for more great episodes about learning about how other small business owners are learning from are helping small businesses grow, check out the playlist located up here in the corner, and we will catch you up next time.